you try on a pair of shoes before you buy them, right?
So
And
you're comparing women to things that
no,
you walk,
no.
You're
Actually,
women to things you walk all over?
no. Actually, a woman gave me that scenario the one night when I was out on a date with her, and I had to roll with it. But I'm not comparing a woman to anything materialistic at all. So please don't.
So
go
that
there.
analogy, I'm just gonna say again.
I mean, like, I don't want to open myself up and do all this without knowing that the sex is going to be good in the end. I mean, why would I want to build a foundation of a relationship if I know that the relationship's not going to go forward if the sex is no good?
That's only one facet of a relationship, though. I'm saying that you're putting way too much emphasis on one aspect.
Yeah.
The physical side of it is just one thing. What if you don't connect with that person mentally? Yeah, the sex could be fantastic, but they could be a total bitch.
Yeah.
They could be very dumb.
Mm-hmm.
They might not have your same political or religious views. There's so many other things that you need to take into account before you jump into bed with them.
I mean, years ago when I came out here 10 years ago, my brother gave me some advice, and he said, "Scott, don't try and sleep with all these girls so fast." He did. He you know what I mean? And don't think that I go out and I just target for sex, and I don't. I mean, I do want a relationship on a personal level, but
I believe you do. I just think that you are jumping into bed too quickly.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's your only objective, but the way that you've been going about it is the wrong formula.
So how can I change that?
You need to be focused on them. First of all, you need to be telling them all about yourself so that they can get to know who you are on a cellular level. Not too quickly. You don't want to scare them away.
Oh, no, I don't want to scare them away.
People want to know about your external bubble first, and then they'll start chipping away at what's inside.
Okay.
So broader topics to begin with, and then start, if it's going somewhere and if they're sticking around and you're sticking around, then you can get more specific and go into detail about things.
So do you think that we should give a person a chance? I mean, like, I find that everybody, like what we're just talking about, is that we judge right away. So, I mean, like, these girls, they right away decide whether or not within a split second that they're going to have, they could possibly have a relationship with you. Do you think everybody should slow down and give that person a chance to be able to develop themselves and to be able to show themselves and, get over that awkwardness, right? And then, let their personality flow out in a genuine way?
Yes, exactly. I 100% agree with that. I think it's ridiculous that people are expecting perfection right off the bat.
I mean,
and I'm sure that they're not delivering perfection either.
No.
It is a performance that you're giving. When you're on a first date, you're on a second date, it's a performance. And people, number one, are not on their best behavior a lot of the time.
No.
They have, they're nervous as well. And they are guarded because they don't want to let you see their vulnerability. So they're trying to be perfect without actually knowing what it is that you're looking for. So maybe that flaw, that vulnerability that they're hiding is what you're looking for.
Why is it that a woman always asks me, like, what are you looking for in a relationship? What am I supposed to say when they ask me that? I mean, it's pretty cut and dry to me, but I mean, they're asking me a question that I don't know what they want me to tell them.
Exactly. That right there, that statement right there. What do they want me to tell them? They want to know what you want. They don't want you to tell them what they want to hear. Because if you tell them, if they're looking for someone to become their husband, someone to start a family with and grow old with, and you tell them that, but you are just there to have maybe a 3-month relationship, a fling over the summer, and then you start over looking for someone new, that is manipulation in a negative context. They want honesty from you. If you're not looking for something serious and you just want a 3-4 month fling, tell them that. Because then the cards are on the table and they know what they're setting themselves up for. Maybe they like you enough that they would say, okay, well, I'm game for that as well. Let's try it. If they're not looking for that, then you haven't wasted their time. You've been respectful of their time, their space, and their objectives as well. It's 100% always better to be honest and upfront.
Well, I mean, like, it's pretty hard to judge whether you just want a 3 or 4 month relationship. I mean, well, the way I look at it is like just take it one day at a time, and one day turns into a week, and then the weeks turn into months, and then those months turn into years.
There's different ways of wording that so that you get your point across to women, but you're not saying, I don't know what I want to do tomorrow, because that is scary to women. Women generally, again, I'm generalizing, are looking for security. So if you tell them, I may not be here tomorrow, they're going to be a lot more hesitant to pursue if that's the case.
Yeah, I find that when I tell them that I've just moved here, they kind of think that I'm a transient kind of thing, or like I came here for work. So in their mind, I think that they sometimes think that my work could take me other places, right? Mm-hmm. And that's not the case. Actually, I came out here for work. So, I mean, like I'm at the end of the road here. And actually, my work's changed. So I'm sitting here in the chair, and I'm doing work today with you.
Exactly.
So, so do you think, and if a relationship, do you think if a relationship it's bad sex, do you think that it's just going to fail? Is there a way to fix bad sex?
I think there is, yes.
Oh, yeah? Well, give me some tips.
So,
not that I need them.
I do have a friend who we had actually been speaking about prior to this recording her name is Robin Beach. Yep. And she used to go by the handle Red Robin. I'm pretty sure she's not allowed to use that anymore. So I think she goes with Sex with Robin.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, she's a sex therapist. She is amazing to follow.
Yeah.
All of her social media handles and whatnot, you need to follow them. She can teach you so many different things to spice up your love life. But not only that, that's just one avenue. There's things like being open with your partner. If you're not communicating with them and either one of you is not telling the other one what they like and what they don't like and what they want and what they don't want, the sex is likely not going to be that great.
Yeah.
But there's things that are important to women that men probably don't even think of. Things like the physical touch beforehand. Things like playing around outside of the bedroom to get the woman's mind engaged. A lot of women need a lot of foreplay, and foreplay in ways that men probably aren't thinking of, in order to get their mind into that mental space to go into the bedroom to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, as guys, we just want to say, hey, you want to go into the bedroom? And we expect the girl to drop her book and come into the bedroom. But I'm
going to tell you that 95% of the time that's going to fail.
Yeah. So I got to go and do the dishes first before I can ask her to go into the...
I mean, you could try it.
I know that works. I used to make sure that the house was clean before my girlfriend came home all the time. And that's why she would reward me with sex with that way.
Well, there you go. See, tactics that some men aren't thinking of.
Well, no, I mean, they're not. I mean, like... guys, go out there and do the dishes and cut the lawn and fix her car and do something nice for her.
Well, whisper compliments in her ear as she's doing some of those things as well. Show that you appreciate her, pump her up, boost her ego so that she feels good about herself. And so she's not feeling vulnerable, unappreciated, taken advantage of. And then she's going to want to do those things with you.
That's a great tip.
You're welcome.
Good thing I got this recorded so I can listen to it later. So, Bri, there's what other thing is like how do we get through the rough patches in a relationship? I mean like every relationship goes through rough patches, and most people just want to throw in the towel and just call it quits. But I mean, like, there's a lot of commitment that has to take place in a relationship. And I mean, if somebody truly loves you, I mean, they're just not going to throw you away, right? I mean, they're gonna stick through you through those rough patches. But how do we get through those?
So when people are in situations like that, in relationships, again, this comes back to the different personality types. Communication is key. I mean, communication trumps everything almost all of the time. If you have poor communication, you're probably going to be in more rough patches than good ones to begin with. So when you find yourself in these rough patches, go back to the different personality types, take a look at what they do well and what they lack, and what you do well and what you lack, and see if there's things that are connecting there that shouldn't be, or things that are missing there that should be there. that make sense?
Sure it does.
So if I'm a blue personality, just to go through that one really quickly as well, they're emotional people. They're feelers. They're very empathetic, and they take on other people's stressors. They are usually good with communication in the sense that they're intuitive what their partner wants and needs, but they also expect that their partner can reciprocate that. So they think that their partner also understands what their wants and needs are just inherently, so they don't communicate those sort of things. They're good at initiating conversations because they want to get the feelings flowing, and they thrive off of the feelings that come from that. But if their partner is not also blue enough in their personality, they probably can't reciprocate the way that they want. So it creates a resentment there. So blue people, and say it's you and I, you're orange, I'm blue.
Sweet.
I want to create all these lovey-dovey feelings and whatnot. And if there's something happening between us, I don't really want that to be there. So the blue person will do one of two things. They'll attack you with questions because they're trying to get you to answer, and they want to know what the answers are. They want to know how you're feeling and how you intend on fixing this. Or they stonewall you. They go silent. And silence is violence. If you are in a relationship with someone who's giving you the silent treatment, there is nothing productive happening there.
No.
Absolutely nothing. They are going through something in their own mind where they're building you up to be the evil person and resenting you more and more the longer the silence goes on. And they honestly just want you to apologize for whatever it is that they think that you did, whether you did it or not, acknowledge that you won't do it again, and somehow make amends for it. Whatever that may be, whatever you know that they need in order for them to feel your apology, that's what they're looking for. Someone who goes silent is likely not going to break the silence first. They need someone else to take that first step. And that doesn't mean that the person who takes that first step is the weaker person. By a long shot, it does not mean that. It just means that you value the relationship enough to take the first step, that you love that person more than you're mad at them.
That's beautiful. And I mean, as a person, it's pretty hard to go in and apologize to somebody. But
that's a pride thing.
It's a pride thing. But one thing I'm going to say is that I've overcome that fear, and I've gone and apologized. And there's a lot more apologizing I need to do. And before my time's done, I'm going to apologize to those people. I'm going to say sorry.
Mm-hmm. There's an exercise that I do in one of my workshops that we actually role play this whole stonewalling or argument type exercise where you go through all these things and say, I would rather be mad at you than love you, which is a huge statement if you think about it. If you think about it in the context of your relationship, you and your husband or yourself and your wife thinking, I would rather be right about this argument that literally means nothing. It's actually not important. I would rather be right than love you.
Yeah. You know what? I think we're going to pretty well give it up at that. I mean, Bri, can you just give me a quick rundown on how to make a healthy relationship? Just if we're looking for a relationship, give me some key tips what I should be looking for.
Again, like I said, communication is key. Communicate with your partner. Communicate your needs. Communicate what you think that they need. Communicate what you think the future will look like. If you're in a long-term relationship and you want it to go somewhere, you guys better be on point of where you both feel like that's going. If one of you thinks that you're going to sell the farm and move to Paris, and the other one thinks, well, we're staying right here and we're going to build a life together on my family's property, those are two very different views. So communication is number one. Number two, I think you need to be able to communicate in the way that your partner needs to receive it. So back to the love languages. If your partner is a different love language than you actively have to work on speaking to them in their love language. It takes work. That's why they say relationships are work. It doesn't come easy. Unless you find someone who, like you said at the beginning, you don't want, is exactly like you, it's going to take work for you to be outside of who you naturally are or who you show up as in the world to be able to make that work.
Looks like I got some work to do.
Don't we all?
Well, Bri, I'd like to thank you for coming, and I'd love to have you back. We're going to cover some other topics, and this is Scotty Too Hotty, and I'd just like to say thank you, Bri.
Thank Thank you. I really enjoyed being here. If you guys want to follow me on social media, Instagram, it's at